Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu seem to be scratching each other's backs quite a bit lately. It's a mutually beneficial relationship in ways that may not be completely obvious. The number of political gifts that Trump has given to Israel lately is not small. First, he moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem.
For many years, we failed to acknowledge the obvious, the plain reality that Israel's capital is Jerusalem.
Then the USA quit the UN Human Rights Council, citing an alleged anti-Israeli bias.
Such a council, in fact, damages the cause of human rights. And then, of course, there is the matter of the chronic bias against Israel.
Since its creation, the Council has adopted more resolutions condemning Israel than against the rest of the world combined.
Then, just before the Israeli elections, Donald Trump recognized Israel's claim over the occupied Golan Heights, captured from Syria almost 5 decades ago.
I will sign a presidential proclamation recognizing Israel's sovereign right over the Golan Heights.
Folks will recall that Obama refused to meet with Netanyahu prior to elections, citing it as improper meddling.
As a matter of long-standing practice and principle, would not see heads of states or candidates in close proximity to their elections, as to avoid the appearance of influencing a democratic election in a foreign country.
However, Trump does not share Obama's reservations. So what is in it for the Donald? Is he just an enthusiastic Israel supporter? Well, Donald Trump has got an election coming up, too, and he needs to secure votes in 2020. Israel is a good way to win support from American Jews, who are not his biggest fans, according to a number of polls, but most especially the Christian evangelicals.
The Exodus movement encourages Jewish people to leave the Democrat Party. Total disrespect. Republicans are waiting with open arms. Remember Jerusalem, U.S. Embassy, and the horrible Iran nuclear deal.
Mike Pence, an evangelical himself, seems to pretty well articulate this trend and how American Christians feel about the Middle East.
In the story of the Jews, we've always seen the story of America. My country's very first settlers also saw themselves as pilgrims, sent by Providence to build a new promised land.
Now, political criticism of Trump and Bibi's political bromance seems to have been muted. However, a few voices have chimed in. For example, Bernie Sanders.
President Trump's extremely unwise decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. By recognizing only its importance to Israel, President Trump has severely undermined the peace process. I am very concerned about the policy of the Trump administration regarding the two-state solution.
And a few noted intellectuals.
We see an Israeli private investigations firm going after the personal reputations of people behind the Iran deal. There are a new array of actors here that the American public didn't know about, and this is all going to figure in the next election.
Israeli intervention in US elections vastly overwhelms anything the Russians may have done.
A common trope among Donald Trump's critics is to accuse him of being a hateful populist, brewing an atmosphere similar to 1930s Germany. And it seems that the White House has determined that the best way to counter that narrative is to scream, "We love Israel," at the top of their lungs.
U.S. and Israel have always had a special relationship, and a very strong relationship. Probably the strongest relationship of any United States ally is with Israel. So the fact that Americans see Benjamin Netanyahu as a important figure, and they see the Israel relationship as important, that might influence some voters to vote for President Trump. At the same time, Israelis view America in the highest esteem and the highest regard, and they very much rely on the United States, and President Trump is very popular. So the fact that President Trump has visited here, the fact that President Trump has moved the embassy to Jerusalem, the fact that President Trump has canceled the Iranian nuclear agreement, the fact that President Trump has recognized the Golan Heights, and just the fact that President Trump likes to tweet positive support for Israel and for Netanyahu can be significant in people deciding who they're going to vote for in Israel.